It is through suffering we grow closer to God. It is through suffering we gain wisdom, and it is through wisdom we gain the ability to help free others from their suffering. Our sufferings just might be our greatest gifts and our greatest strength, because it is through our suffering we can gain a new perspective. And with this new perspective and this new wisdom we gain from going through the suffering and coming out the other side, we can use that to help others, free others from their suffering. Because most people on planet Earth are caught in a cycle of suffering, and most of them don't even know it. So we are going through the fire, so to speak, so we can help others get out of the fire. But first we must pull the stick out of our eye, just like they said in the Bible. You pull the plank out of your eye before you pull the plank on the other eye. So what's the greatest way we can help other people? By working on ourselves, always. Because the higher we raise ourselves, the better ability, the more wisdom and perspective we will have to help others. So that's why suffering is so important. The problem is a lot of people throw away this great gift because, not by any fault of their own, because the pull of the world is so strong. It'll pull you back in. The world will pull you back in, and the sense gratification will kick in. All the sense pleasures, the need to get more, materialism and money and lust and greed and gluttony, all that stuff. All that stuff, what that does is it suppresses our wisdom that we gain through our suffering. And a lot of people don't use their great gift because they're pulled in too many different directions. It's a very strong pull. So how do we get to the point where we have the greatest ability to share this gift, this wisdom we've gained through suffering? We have to come back to presence and to the eternal present moment of God's love. I am God's eternal love pouring forth. We have to become the observer, the vessel for God, to do our greatest goods, to share the wisdom we've gained through our experience and our suffering, and to share the perspective we've gained that some other people don't have yet, so they need our help. But to greatest utilize this gift and not squander it, we got to stay present and we got to give it all up. We got to surrender, or else we're always going to be chasing something. You're always chasing. A lot of people chasing money. A lot of people get on the right path, but then get kind of drawn away by the money. It's hard not to. It's hard for a lot of people to wrap their mind around surrendering, what it really means, because they're too attached. There's too many attachments here. We get emotionally attached. That's why we got to get our emotions under control. That's one of the first steps on this journey is getting into a deep silent state and meditation, and getting our emotions kind of more in balance. That'll help us tackle everything else. That'll help us overcome some of our traumas and to gain the wisdom necessary to free ourselves and then free others if we don't get caught in the trap. The pull is very strong. It's hard not to get. Look how many people around you are not caught in the trap, would you say? Let's turn that around on you. Not very many. I don't know. Do you know how many people do we know that can completely surrender to the eternal present moment of God's love? And at as much as possible, or at all times, you know what I mean? Those are the gurus, those are the high gurus, those are the Maharajis and the Yukteswars, you know what I mean? They were the cosmic consciousness, and that's where we're trying to get. But that's why the pulls of the world are so strong. They don't want you to get that. They don't want you to get to the point of God's presence, so you can be the highest version of yourself and ease the most amount of suffering and bring the most amount of light into the world. They don't want that. They want the suffering. They feed off the suffering. That's part of this insane cycle we're in here on Earth. There are other whatever, that feed off of our negative, our low energy and our suffering. So again, what's the greatest thing we can do to rebel against that? To break out of that, to ascend? We can go within, we can go to the present moment, we can purify the body, and we can raise ourselves out of all of our suffering that we're in, gain the wisdom, and then help others get out of the suffering. We can help everybody get out of the illusion. It's about, how do we break the illusion? We have to first keep breaking it from ourselves, because a lot of us, we've gotten a lot of the chunks of illusion out of ourselves, getting to our real selves, our higher selves. But there's always a little fragments caught in over here. I got a little fragments of the illusion caught in me. I'm trying to pick out. And how do we purge the whole system? It takes a long time, and it comes back to present, about releasing all your fears, cares, worries, and thoughts. Release it all. Give it all to the Creator. Don't stress about a thing. It's hard to get to that point. I get caught on the game all the time, every day, multiple times a day. Wait a minute, why am I stressing? What am I doing? Why am I thinking? There literally is no need to think. I don't write any of my videos, okay? This is me trying my best to surrender. I say, before my videos, I say, I surrender to God's eternal love. I am your vessel. That's my goal. That's where I'm coming from. I'm just letting you know how I am trying to live. I'm trying to give myself as an example of what I am currently doing. I am trying my best every day to focus mainly on presence and purification. But that's after a while, eating the correct way and treating yourself in a correct way becomes easier. And so does the presence. And anytime we get hung up, anytime we create our own suffering, because that's what we do. So thoughts are the cause of all suffering. You know what I mean? We create our own suffering. We create our own scenarios in our head. Anytime that happens, always come back to the present moment. And when we're having a difficult time getting and staying in the present moment, we go to purification, because we gotta remove all the aggravators, everything that's prodding the mind. We gotta remove it all. So that's how this thing kind of works. This is what I've kind of observed from my experience. And all I can ever do is share my perspective and my experience. So it doesn't matter if anything is correct in any sort of box or what people think. It doesn't matter, because this is all we can ever do, is try to share the most truthful part of our experience as possible to help ease the suffering on planet Earth and bring humanity out of the insane quagmire it's in. Just release all stress and worries and cares and fears and poor health, and bring the awareness back to Earth, so we can start educating the world on the truth about themselves, about what their health is really supposed to be, and how good they're supposed to feel, and how they're not supposed to have any pain or any suffering. So let's use our gifts. Let's use our gifts. Don't be afraid to use your gift. If you've gone through some suffering, and you're trying to walk the path, right, of God's love, get out there. Don't be afraid to say something and share your gift. Your gift is so powerful. You don't even know. You can't even imagine how powerful your gift is. To share your wisdom you've gained from your suffering. You could change the world at such a grand scale with your gift. We all have the power to affect change on so many people, and we could bring this world straight up into the light. You know what I mean? And just make this world an absolute heaven on earth utopia in every aspect. We can do this by harnessing our greatest gift, using the wisdom of God's love and the present moment to pull the rest of the world out of the suffering. Now, we can't force anything. It's not about forcing anything. It's about letting the nature take its course. Have a great day, my friends. Namaste.